Scott.
I'll call that one.
Okay, obviously very pleased to get the win, to get the 4-1. Most important thing all week was to rebound from our first loss of the season and come back and get the 4-1 going into a bye week, and so we can get healthy. So very proud of that. As far as the game itself in general, I think it kind of went a little bit expected as far as that. That's a great quarterback with some great receivers. The thing we didn't want to do, we felt coming into this game we would play really well on special teams. We thought that we had some advantages on offense. We wanted to make sure that their great receivers didn't get really big plays on us. You know, they've done that in the past on some other guys where they get really explosive plays and get beat outside. They do have some big receivers. You know, a corner made his first start in his career today, and Anthony Brown, a freshman, and Nikel's obviously not the biggest guy, so we wanted to protect those guys a little bit with our scheme. And I thought in the first half it worked. You know, to get 2 turnovers, those are 2 interceptions. You know, that's a great quarterback. He's not throwing a pick all year long versus some really good teams. So I thought it worked. Obviously, we bent a little bit more than we'd like in the second half, but in the end, we won the game. Our quarterback, I think, was phenomenal today. Outside of his last play, he's supposed to throw the ball right to the flat. You know, Robert, who would have broke the all-time school record for receiving yards if he'd have thrown that ball, because he ends up with 255. But outside of that play, I thought he played great today. You know, well, he set the all-time school record, most passing yards at a school that has a pretty good quarterback. So great job by him. The offensive line didn't give him a sack all day long. Basically, our guys caught him. Everything throwing near him today. Everybody, for the most part, outside, I think, of a check down drop to Curtis. So, and it was great to see Marquise take the step of a true freshman to the next level. You know, was 1 foot away from 2 touchdowns today, but you know, went for 144 yards and 8 catches, and actually came up and had X-rays, so he missed a series on his fingers, and then came back and put himself in, even though they were questioning whether he could play. So it says a lot about him as a true freshman. And another brilliant day by Robert to go 14 for 225. Pretty cool.
What exactly was a sideline infraction?
Actually, smile right there. I guess that I came out of the field by a couple feet while the ball was down on the 10-yard line. So we made sure he did a good job of staying back. I know Stoops does a great job as you guys watch the games. He never comes out on the field. He does a phenomenal job of staying in the box. So
you did appreciate the makeup call?
Yeah. He said it was after our only turnover of the day, so I really wasn't very happy at that point. Great play by number 5, though, on the interception on Marquise.
Is that what didn't you tell the refs Stoops does a great job? But how did that?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I showed him during the game before the penalty of him standing out on the numbers, and then I go out 1 foot and got a penalty. So, but it doesn't matter what he did. I shouldn't have gone out on 1 foot on the field when the ball's on the 10-yard line, 35 yards away from you. So it won't happen again. Really affected the play a lot.
Coach.
No more questions on that. I don't feel like getting fined.
After saying everything that you said about all the good things that happened, and there were many good things, it still came down to an onside kick. Is there, I mean, what happened in the second half defensively, would you say, that caused that?
Yeah, I think that they did a good job of adjusting on their part, and then all of a sudden we missed the tackles we were making. We missed some of them in the second half, and had some good rushes and were really close again, and it's just not coming together exactly. And it wasn't the first half. I was excited about the first half. That's a great offense. I know they were getting some first downs, but we get 2 turnovers, and I think they only scored 2 touchdowns there. And so that's a pretty good half. Versus a great quarterback.
What was the thinking behind going for it there on the 4th and 1 under 2 minutes instead of punting and making them go distance?
Because we hadn't stopped him in the last 7 straight series, so you had an opportunity there to put the game away, and that's how our players know their head coach. We're going to believe in our players, and really to punt, we're at midfield, you punt it, happens to be a touchback, you get 30 yards, and the rate that they were going, and that ain't going to take them very long to get 30 yards. So a chance to end the game with a quarterback that's just played the greatest game in the history of USC, number-wise, and throw the ball to Robert Woods, who's about to play the greatest game of receiver in the history of USC. I'll take those numbers. But unfortunately, we came up to pretend we were sneaking, and so they all played the line from the sneaks we did last year, and then cars opened up, and Matt was so afraid, he was wide open, he was so afraid of overthrowing him that he underthrew him, and unfortunately went up and come with the play.
TJ McDonald on both of his interceptions handed you the ball. Was that because of a point of emphasis of turnovers this week, or kind of what was behind it?
I don't know where that was. I was going to call the next play. You can ask him when he gets up here. Came running over to me. I don't know. I was just happy we got turnovers, so it was good to see.
Especially that's been the issue, especially last week, is to change that parameter. Yes.
Yeah, especially to go into a game with a quarterback that has thrown the ball a million times and been behind in every single game he's played by a couple of scores, and he hadn't thrown an interception in any of those. And then to get two while the game's close early on, it was awesome by our guys, and two great plays by TJ.
When you say it's not just coming together, you mean it collectively, the whole team, or just the defense? What do you mean by that?
Well, I just mean that I thought the first half, if we repeat the first half on defense in the second half, we're up here, we feel great about the way we played. But we've been too much in the second half and missed some tackles, and they went down the field a little bit too easy, even though that was our plan, to not give up the big plays and play to our pass rush. So what I mean is just not coming together where we see the full defensive game. We did it for the first half, obviously like we do for the whole game.
What happened to Mark Tyler? He came out early in the second half.
Yeah, just got a number of things, just kind of got banged up in there, and was really hurt. Kind of went back in to help us with some protection stuff, and I think 1 or 2 more carries there and stuff to make sure we were holding the ball, and what was going to be a wildcat on the 4th down there, which I shouldn't have called a timeout because the play was going to work.
You've said at times earlier this season that you were sort of apprehensive about going so completely pass heavy. What changed today where you were so comfortable letting that just?
2 things there. Well, this is the same thing. The opponent we were playing had a great passing offense. To think that you're going to come in and they're not going to score their points. They're going to score their points on everybody this year. Great receivers, great quarterback, great scheme. And then their defense everybody talked about not played really good against the run. So we knew that was going to be an emphasis of theirs, obviously. They changed their Mike linebacker. They took their old Mike and moved him back to Mike because of the play of Mike linebacker. And so that helped them in there. They became more physical against the run. So once we saw that change in warm-ups, really was leaning that way to throw the ball anyway, but really just kept going that direction. And the pass protection really held up well today. We limited what we did. We helped in some areas that we were exposed last weekend, and proud of our guys.
You had to be pretty pleased with what you saw from Curtis McNeil today too.
Yeah, another story. We talked about picking up the flag. Who's ever next? And you got to be ready. Curtis has practiced great. Went in there and did a really good job, and that was a huge run right there. I know a lot of people were starting to get tense, so that game kept going back and forth from 2 scores to 1 score, and then that was a big run.
Other than the progression of the year, what are those things about Matt this year? What are the greatest areas?
Well, I just think Matt's playing with so much confidence, and he doesn't get rattled. He's just always smiling out there. His preparation is phenomenal. If you ever saw the notes he takes during the weeks and the meetings and the stuff the night before the game and the way he knows the script, I do some things with him sometimes with the opening script where I just give him the beginning of the formation and see if he can call the rest of the play to the offense. That's very rare to find a quarterback like that. There aren't many out, there aren't many like that. The ones that are make a lot of money.
So big picture-wise, how do you feel about things heading into the bye week here?
Well, it's a good chance for us to find some other guys, move around some rotations and get guys healthy too, and go from there. And obviously, we'll always look at a couple of new things, maybe that other people are doing and stuff like that around the conference to make sure that we're on top of everything.
Last one for Coach.
How much are you paying attention in games to the records and how close you are? I've seen it a couple times now. The way you call plays. Are you paying attention a lot?
It's affecting me the way I was calling plays. What, do you want me to keep running the ball?
Wasn't
working. No, the play wasn't designed to break the record. That was the play designed for 4th and 1. If he does throw to Robert, it happened to break the record. We weren't calling that play to break the record. The score was way too tight. We were trying to win a game.
Thank you.